Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to my Doctor Who review on Doctor Who The Wheel in Space Episode 1 Telesnap Reconstruction. Now, I'm not really too keen on the telesnaps. I don't really care for the Underwater Menace reconstruction for the telesnaps, but you're probably wondering how have I sat down and managed to watch The Wheel in Space telesnapped for Episode 1. Luckily, it's on BritBox. Now, BritBox is a TV app like Paramount Plus is. I mean, I love Paramount Plus with all the Star Trek content on there. And of course, it's a bit like BBC iPlayer. Now, again, sitting down watching a telesnap, I'm like, you know what, I do really want to watch The Wheel in Space. I was literally looking through BritBox like yesterday and going, wonder what's on this. So when I saw they got Doctor Who from season 1 down to season 26, even though I'm collecting the Blu-rays and the DVDs, and then I looked at season 5 and I'm like, oh, they've got The Wheel in Space. Episode 1, episode 2, episode... I'm like, but The Wheel in Space is a missing story. So then I read it carefully. It says Telesnap Reconstruction. I'm like, do I watch it? Do I not watch it? Do I watch it? Do I not watch it? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Just sod it. Just watch the Telesnap Reconstruction. But instead of watching it all as a massive whole, as a story, I thought like, yeah, you know what? I could actually do reviews on this separately. So today, it's on episode 1 of the Telesnap Reconstruction. Episode 2 will be on tomorrow. Then Friday, I'm going to be watching the existing episode for episode 3, because that, luckily, that still exists. Same with episode 6. And then after I get to episode 6, I'll probably do a review on the whole story. See what I actually think of the whole story after going through episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, episode 5, and episode 6. So episode 1, what do I personally think of it? Well, it's really good. Now, this is the last story. The Wheel in Space is literally the last story for season 5. I was kind of hoping this story gets animated, but with the cancellation of, you know, the animations and that, the Web of the Unabominable Snowman is going to be the last animation to come out in September. So I thought, you know what, I might as well just dig straight into this story. I might as well just literally just dig straight into The Wheel in Space and do a video on the whole of season 5 at some point after I watch The Abominable Snowman. So talking about The Wheel in Space, what can I personally say about it? Well, I like how it carries on from, you know, Fury from the Deep. I like the way how it carries on with them leaving Victoria. I love the way how they're talking about Victoria and Jamie's like angry that the doctors agreed to let Victoria go and live with these people from the end of the episode. I can't remember their name. It's been a while since I watched Fury from the Deep. I need to go back and rewatch that one at some point. But I just don't like the animation, so I'm hoping I can find the actual TV, the telesnap for that episode. Because I don't really like the animation, but the animation, you know, I'm happy it's got animated. So what can I personally say about episode 1? Now, I like the callbacks to Victoria, as I said. The Doctor does kind of overload the TARDIS to make it kind of go like all smoky-ish, and he literally uses the Mercury, and he's got to find Mercury to restore. It looks like they're on this abandoned spaceship where it's got crew quarters, but the only sort of living thing on there is a little robot, and the robot does really remind me of the Quarks from Doctor Who and the Dominators. The robot does really represent to me like the Quarks design. So I don't know if this is the Quark and this is their first appearance and then they go into the Dominators. I don't know until later on into this story. And even though The Wheel in Space, it's supposed to be a Cyberman story, and at the end of episode 1 during the telesnap, there's no really design of the telesnaps, and we haven't got introduced to Zoe yet, who later becomes the second Doctor's companion for season 6, and this is her first story, but she's not in episode 1 of The Wheel in Space. So really, episode 1 is really about the Doctor and Jamie coming to terms about leaving Victoria, and the fact they go onto the spaceship, the TARDIS is trying to warn them, and the Doctor's got to find Mercury to reload the TARDIS fluid link. Again, this story, it's a good beginning to it. I'm hoping it does build in more episode 2, because I mean, my review for episode 2 will be out tomorrow, so I'm literally going to watch this day by day by day instead of watching it all as one whole story like I do, because this is the one story for Troughton I've not actually ever seen. So really, to sit down and watch a Telesnap Reconstruction, it's like, to me, it's like swearing. You know, if you tell me to go and watch a Telesnap Reconstruction, it's like you're swearing at me to go and watch it. But I'm like thinking to myself, you know what, just dive straight into it with the Abominable Snowman coming out. then you can, that way I can say I've actually watched the whole of season 5 thanks to BritBox for actually having the Wheel in Space. I think BritBox is amazing for me to actually sit down and, even though it's just like a telesnap reconstruction, I can still experience the whole story of the Wheel in Space for once. You know, it's my very first time watching it. So episode 1, I kind of do enjoy it. I like the models design of the spaceship with the Doctor and Jamie on. I like the way we got the wheel, and I like the way, like, literally like the last 5 minutes that you kind of see the humans on the wheel, and that we got these like funny little meteorites landing on top of the actual saucer of the wheel and burying straight in through the metal. And that literally goes into my head thinking, going, is that Cyberman ships? Have they updated the Cyber ships to do that so they can bury themselves into metal and invade the station that way? You know, I don't know until I get into episode 2, do I? But episode 1, it's kind of okay. It's not a strong opener to a story. It's not, as I say, how can I say it? It's not as strong as other stories for Charlton. It's a series, it's to an opener to a story, specifically the last story of the season. It's very, very kind of slow. Very kind of slow. So I'm looking forward to watching episode 2 tomorrow and get my review out for you tomorrow at this time, hopefully. So, yeah. Doctor Who, The Wheel in Space, episode 1, telesnap reconstruction review. How do I actually rank it? Well, I have to say it's a 6 out of 10. I do have to say it's 6 out of 10. It's a bit slow, but I do kind of like the friendship between the Doctor and Jamie, that them two are literally kind of like really hurt that Victoria's decided to leave them, even though the Doctor does say, look, it is her decision. And I also like the way when Jamie says to the second Doctor, what do you think that Victoria's doing right now, Doctor? And he goes, I don't know, Jamie, you forget, time is very relative. You know, it's very relative. It means the Doctor doesn't know what Victoria could be doing at this moment in time. I kind of do hope this story really kicks in episode 2 of The Wheel in Space. Episode 1, it's okay. I do like the whole carry-on story arc with Victoria leaving and how much of an impact that has on Jamie, because from really the Evil of the Daleks, from the animation, and Tomb of the Cybermen and the Ice Warriors and Enemy of the World and the Web of Fear, you really do feel Jamie does actually fall in love with Victoria, that he kind of fancies her, but then in View from the Deep, because she's had enough travelling with the Doctor and she's there just had enough screaming all the time. I really think Jamie is a good companion out of Victoria. Out of the two, for Jamie and Victoria, I really prefer Jamie more to Victoria, but to have Jamie have that crush on Victoria, yeah, you know, it's kind of cool. I can understand it, because they both are companions from the past. I mean, Jamie's from the Highland, from the actual episode The Highlands in Scotland, and then of course you got Victoria set coming from the Victorian times. So these two companions are really from our own history, and the fact, I think it's very nice for them to be out of their own time with this time traveling alien, and the fact Victoria literally does leave them. And I can understand why Jamie is really hurt by Victoria leaving. That's what I have to say. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Zoe's kind of first appearance. Hopefully that's episode 2 of The Wheel in Space. So yeah, this is my review on Doctor Who, The Wheel in Space, episode 1, telesnap reconstruction. Do I like it? Well, yeah, to be honest with you, it's a lot better than the Underwater Menace, because the Underwater Menace's reconstruction, telesnap reconstruction, is just terrible, just absolutely terrible. I regret buying that DVD. I really do. I wish I never brought it, because I was looking on that in season 4. That is on BritBox as well. I'm like, why have I brought it if it's on BritBox? You know, but The Wheel in Space telesnap reconstruction, if this was to be released on DVD, I'll probably get it. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of The Wheel in Space episode 1 telesnap reconstruction? If I would actually recommend to watch The Wheel in Space, because then that way you can actually say, yeah, you know, you've watched all of season 5 now, with the Bottle of Summer coming out next month, and then I can actually do a massive whole review on season 5 and what I think of it after watching all the stories. So join me tomorrow for my review on episode 2 of The Wheel in Space. Thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe and share, and join for more awesome Doctor Who content. Have a great day.